What's up, YouTube? Timmy's here. Now, here is my official top 10 favorite male supporting film performances of the year, and there were some really good ones here. All right, coming in at number 10 is ASAP Rocky for Highest to Lowest. Now, ASAP Rocky, obviously, he is best known as a rapper and stuff. I really thought he gave it the Zora in Highest to Lowest. Of course, really acting like with Denzel here, and even Denzel actually was impressed about how good ASAP Rocky was. So you definitely know you're in the business if Denzel thinks you're good. Uh, and yeah, stuff like back and forth that ASAP Rocky, like only time you get to hear someone actually call Denzel Washington, the P word. So yeah, that's what we get with ASAP Rocky in this one. But he definitely does such a good job here. I mean, I mentioned this before. Sometimes like actors and rappers or musicians try their hands in acting, and sometimes it works. Like let's say an Eminem for 8 Mile or a Tupac for Juice. Sometimes it doesn't work, a la Mariah Carey with Glitter and stuff. But here actually though worked pretty well. Like he definitely was incredible throughout. All right. And the music, by the way, he like the song he songs in the prison cell. Really good music there. All right, coming in at number 9 is actually a film director. Which who would I ever expect? I actually will include a film director on this list, but he is actually really good here in this film. Number 9 is Abel Ferreira for Marty Supreme. I could have gone with other actors, like I could have gone with another rapper, Tyler the Creator. I could have gone with a couple of other actors here, like Kevin O'Leary and stuff. I am going with Abel Ferreira for this one. He plays this character named Ezra Mashkari, who's a criminal that Marty cross passes with, and something actually. I'm not going to go much spoiler territory, but something happens to Abel's character, and so Marty has to like watch his dog and stuff. And this guy, I'm not gonna go spoil territory because the movie just been out like for a week and stuff. But yeah, the guy actually gets pretty scary here. He literally plays a legit gangster, and stuff that he does in this. Yeah, you're not gonna want to cross paths with this guy. I mean, yeah, like he's actually more scarier in this than that. I forgot the actor's name, but the main villain in Uncut Gems, who of course ends up shooting Adam Sandler towards the end. He's actually more scary than that guy. So yeah, really, I mean, it's something else because Abel's. I've always known him as a director. Like he directed Bad Lieutenant, King of New York, and stuff like that. He did a good job with this one. So interesting film performance here. All right, coming in at number 8 is Mark Hamill for The Life of Chuck. Now, of course, Mark Hamill obviously always best known for playing, Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars saga and stuff. But here, I think he gave one of his best performances in recent years. He of course portrays the role of Chuck's grandfather, who's a stern but loving father figure, and I really thought he gives such a good performance here. Definitely one of his best non Star Wars level performance. And it's such a shame he's not really getting much award recognition because the film actually won a couple of stuff at Toronto National Film Festival a year prior, like a year beforehand, and a lot of people were really praising Mark Hamill. Like they were saying maybe this could actually get him an Oscar and stuff like that. He's not even hardly getting no award recognition, which is unfortunate, but he was so great in it, to say the least. All right, number 7 is Mal Katan for Sinners. I could have actually gone with either other actors like Delroy Lindo. I could have gone with some other actors here and there, but I actually am going with Miles Katan. And I really, of course, this was like his first feature film, and I think he did like a couple of music videos here and there, if I'm not mistaken. But he does such a great job here at playing young Sammy, who's a musically gifted kid, put between innocence and the domination here. And he really does such a good job throughout. Like he really plays his part well. The music stuff, like he did his own music for this, great there. He even scored a Grammy nomination for the music that he made in this. Such a really good performance here, and really interesting him. Pretty much give another good performance one of these days. All right, coming in at number 6 is Paul Mescal for Hamnet. Of course, here he plays the role of William Shakespeare, and I think I've always, thought like Paul Mescal was a pretty good actor. With After Sun and stuff. This guy really definitely gave his all as William Shakespeare. He embodies the role pretty well. Really emotional moments here. I mean, obviously he is because of his, William Shakespeare's son's passing. This is about him, like how Hamlet became to be and stuff. It's just such a really terrific performance here. And he's actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's supposed to be playing one of the Beatles. I think Paul McCartney down the line. So that's gonna be interesting to see there. All right, number 5 is Stephen Graham for Springsteen, "Deliver Me from Nowhere." Now I could have easily gone with maybe like Jeremy Strong or someone else, but Stephen Graham as Springsteen's dad was excellent casting. Of course, the ending scene where he axes Jeremy Allen White's Springsteen should sit on his lap. That's actually an interesting little moment there. But yeah, he definitely has some really good serious moments here and stuff. Really does such a good job throughout. I mean, wonderful performance here. All right, number 4 is Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Now, the makeup that Jacob Elordi used was terrific. Wonderful performance here. I mean, obviously Jacob Elordi, you might know him from Euphoria fame. So seeing him go to heavy makeup like and stuff like very unrecognizable was interesting casting. Whether he gets an Oscar nomination, who knows? But Jacob Elordi was excellent here. I mean, obviously we've seen so many actors who done the Frankenstein monster before. From Boris Karloff, to Robert De Niro, Jacob Elordi. Now Christian Bale's playing the monster. So some really cool, actors has done that makeup there. All right, number 3 is Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Now here, of course, he plays like the patriarch who defies everyone's else's presence here, and is of course Joachim Tour's intimate exploration of memory and inheritance and stuff. And Joachim does such a good job here. Stellan Skarsgård is terrific. Also, I've always liked him in the Dora movies and always like seeing him pop up and stuff. And he definitely gives a heartwarming performance here. And whether he actually gets his Oscar for this, who knows? But it is a terrific performance. All right, number 2 is Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly. Of course, here he plays George Clooney's like agent, if you will. And Adam, it's not as good. I will admit, it's not as good as a performance as, let's say, Uncut Gems or or Reign Over Me, nothing like that. But Sandler really gave his all here. Like, definitely some really good performances here. Great chemistry with George Clooney. I mean, he of course did score both a Critics' Choice nomination and a Golden Globe nomination. Whether he gets the Oscar nomination, who knows? But he was really incredible here. And of course, and my number 1 favorite male supporting performance of the year is obviously Sean Penn for One Bow After Another. Definitely one of his best performances in recent years. Like, he's done some pretty good stuff here and there. Like, he appeared in Licorice Pizza and stuff. But I think it's been a while since he's really given like a Oscar level performance. And here he was really great and I mean, definitely by this role perfectly. Definitely had some fun, interesting dramatic sequences. Um I mean, of course, definitely like playing Stephen Lockwell, who's the corrupt military officer who pursues the French 75. Like, I could have actually gone with maybe Benicio del Toro, but I decided to just go with Sean Penn. He's just definitely the best performance in this. Really scary at times. He really like why does he wear tight shirts? Okay, really cool line by Chase Fame, by the way. So really wonderful performance here. And whether he actually wins an Oscar, who knows? This will actually be his 3rd Oscar, if I'm not mistaken, because I know he won for I think he won for Mr. River or Dead Man's Walking. And of course, he won for Milk. So this might actually be his 3rd Oscar. He'll win, but we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much it there. Here's my quick rundown. Number 10, ASAP Rocky for Highest to Lowest. 9, Abel Ferreira for Marty Supreme. 8, Mark Hamill for The Life of Chuck. 7, Miles Catan for Sinners. 6, Paul Mescal for Hamnet. 5, Stephen Graham for Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere. 4. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. 3. Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. 2. Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly. And number 1 is Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Now, there's a couple of other ones I could have included. Let's see. Of course, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another is great. Andrew Scott for Blue Moon. Nick Nolte was pretty good, and Dime I Love, even though the movie wasn't so good. Jonathan Bailey and Ethan Slater, both for Wicked for Good. They were great in that. Russell Crowe for Nuremberg. Another Jay Kelly film actor, Billy Crudup. He was really good in Jay Kelly. Josh Brolin for Wake Up Dead Man. He was great in that. I mean, I could have gone with some other. Paul Rudd for Friendship was pretty decent. The late great Julian McMahon for The Surfer. I mean, some really good performances there. But let me ask you guys, who were some of your favorite male supporting film performances of the year? Drop Hospital, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Sammy Signer.